Hey everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today's video I am going to be taking a look at the Google Stadia Premiere Edition. So this is technically like a new console slash streaming service, basically a new way to play games, and this is done through cloud streaming. So with this system you are not technically playing the games locally, instead you're playing them off of a data center somewhere and you're streaming it. So you will need a pretty good internet connection for this. Fortunately for me, I have gigabit internet, so I should be fine with Google Stadia. But this is basically our first official look at game streaming. This is apparently kind of what the future is going to entail for gaming, is that we're going to move away from like traditional hardware such as like a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One and more towards something like this, where you just stream it off of a tiny little device and you have like a controller, a mouse and keyboard, and all the processing of the game, all the graphics, everything is done out at a data center, and then it's just streamed to you. So this is the Stadia Premiere Edition. I wanted to get the Founders Edition, although I just waited too long, unfortunately, so I missed out on that. But the Premiere Edition is basically the exact same thing. You get a white controller, and inside the box, or on the side of the box, they also tell you what you get. So you get the controller, a Chromecast Ultra, I believe is what it is, but regardless, it's a Chromecast. Okay, so let's actually take a look at the box here. So it does say down here that it features a Google Chromecast Ultra. So it says Stadia Premiere Edition, Stadia Controller plus Google Chromecast Ultra. Then it gives you a list of everything that's included. So it says what's included: a Stadia Controller clearly white, USB-C to A cable, a power adapter, Google Chromecast Ultra in black, and a power adapter with integrated cable, which is required. They say the Stadia controller requires Wi-Fi network and a compatible mobile device for setup. A list of minimum mobile OS requirements is available at g.co/stadia/rec. And it's saying stuff about how you need a Google account. For the Chromecast Ultra, it requires a TV with an HDMI port. Pretty much every single TV has one, TV or monitor. A Wi-Fi network, a nearby electrical outlet or USB port, and a compatible mobile device. Minimum OS requirements are available at that website I mentioned before. Google account required for full access of features. Availability and performance of certain features, services, and applications, including screen mirroring, are service, device, and network dependent and may not be available in all areas. So basically, it depends on your internet for a lot of this stuff, but the Stadia Premiere Edition and the Founders Edition, they both include basically everything you need to get up and running. So here we go. It includes Stadia Controller, Chromecast Ultra. What they don't mention here on the box is that it includes Stadia Pro, which gives you access to free games and also discounts on other Stadia games as well. So for the specs, for Wi-Fi, it has dual band 2.4 GHz or 5 GHz Wi-Fi with AGBN and AC connectivity. You connect over Bluetooth. It has a headphone jack, USB-C for charging, wire gameplay, and accessories such as USB-C headsets. It is 286 grams, gives you the dimensions. It has a Google Assistant button and microphone. Also has a capture button, quick access to image and video capture, and the battery is an internal rechargeable lithium-ion battery. So it's not a controller like the Xbox One controller where you can put in batteries or have a recharge pack. Instead, it's more like the Xbox One Elite Controller Series 2 where it has an internal battery, or also like the PlayStation 4 controller with an internal battery. Alright, and on the side it says pick up and play. Top it just says Stadia. On the back it says one place for all the ways we play. And this pick up and play slogan is kind of interesting because that's one of the main selling points also that I saw Google marketing this as, is that you don't need to install games and you don't need to wait for games to download or update as well. So like a lot of games nowadays are having big like 20 gigabyte updates, and for some people who have like a little bit, worse internet connections, it can be really hard and take a long time for you to download updates for games. So especially games that put out frequent updates that are like 20 gigabytes, such as Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare has been putting out updates like pretty frequently, and they can vary from file size, but usually it can be upwards of like 20 gigabytes. On your PlayStation 4 or Xbox One or even PC, you gotta wait around for that to download. So even if you have fast internet or not, you still have to wait around for that to download. The perks of something like a Google Stadia is that it's all done at a data center, so you do not have to wait for anything to download. It's all pre-installed, all updated constantly, and you just need to be connected to it. So you can play games anytime. You don't have to wait for anything to download or update, and you can also apparently play it anywhere. So I can play it here at home with my PC and all this different stuff, or apparently you can play it on, I believe it's limited to right now to Pixel phones, but I believe it will be coming to iOS and other different phones sometime later. But basically the perks of this is you can play games anywhere as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. So you don't need to lug around an Xbox or a PlayStation or a PC with you if you want to play games. Instead, all you really need is your Stadia controller and potentially your Chromecast Ultra and like an internet connection. That's all you need, and you can play games or wherever, and you don't have to worry about it. So I guess if we actually open this thing up. What do we got inside? Okay, we got the Stadia controller. Now this is interesting because the Stadia controller is actually a lot similar to the PlayStation controller than any other controller. So it has the D-pad up on the left, has the 2 thumbsticks down on the bottom, just like a PlayStation controller, as opposed to like the Xbox controller where they're offset. And then the button layout is actually still the same, you know, A, B, X, Y, A, B, X, Y. And this one also still has the 2 buttons right there, but this also has another 2 buttons. So this also has the Stadia logo here. This is what I'm assuming you press to like get out or get to a menu or something like that. Probably just like the Xbox button or the PlayStation button, you know, standard there. But this apparently also has a capture button on it too, just like a PlayStation 4 controller. The PlayStation 4 controller has a share button, and so does the Google Stadia. So this will allow you to record and take screenshots. Pretty cool. But like I said, this is pretty similar to the PlayStation 4 controller, where the button layouts are the same, the thumbstick layouts are the same, the D-pad over here is the same, as well as the Stadia button is in basically the exact same spot as the PlayStation button as well. Although this does not have a speaker, doesn't have a touchpad, doesn't have a light bar, but it does still have the internal battery, so you can't put AA's or anything in there. This does have USB-C, which is pretty great. I love that. It does have both bumpers and triggers. So I guess first impressions of this, triggers are a little weird. It feels like your fingers might kind of slip around on the triggers. Bumpers feel good though. I mean, the triggers are not bad, but I think that the PlayStation is better, and so is the Xbox controller's triggers. Those are all better. But this is Google's first time making a controller for like their Google Stadia, so I'm assuming if they put out a second version, it's gonna be better. But overall build quality is pretty good. On the back, it does kind of look like they have a little bit of a textured grip. I don't know if you guys can really see that. There we go. I think you guys might be able to see that just a little bit. It is a little textured on the back, whereas on the front, it's just a pure matte finish. It doesn't have any of that. But it also features a headphone jack on the bottom, just like the PlayStation 4 controller, and just like the Xbox One controllers. But it also doesn't feature a weird port for like headsets or anything like that, like the Xbox One. And the PS4 controller also has another weird port. This one just has a 3.5mm jack for headsets or headphones, anything like that, which is pretty cool. It kind of makes it just like a universal thing, so you don't have to worry about any specific thing. You can plug in headphones or headset, anything you want, anything that's 3.5mm, you can plug it in here. I'm sure you could even hook up speakers or whatever to it. That's the controller. Pretty cool. I mean, it's not a terrible build quality. I would have liked it to be maybe a little bit heavier. I mean, it does have a decent amount of heft to it, but it does feel a little light, and at least with the triggers feel kind of cheap, but thumbsticks feel good. I do like kind of this accent color in here. That's something that Xbox has been doing with some of their like custom controllers for a little while now, is like they have accent colors inside with the thumbsticks and stuff, so that's pretty good. The grips aren't half bad. It's a lot similar to the Xbox thumbsticks grips. So these ones have the like little comb, but then they also have like kind of rubber on the outside too. I mean, PlayStation controllers are really similar to that as well. I think a lot of thumbsticks are going this direction where it has this ring around the edge to kind of catch the edge of your finger. But then it's just one big spot in the middle where you can kind of put your fingertips as well. But pretty cool. I mean, overall, it's pretty good build quality, not too bad. The material is a little bit slicker than both the Xbox and the PlayStation controller's thumbsticks. So I will have to say that out of the 3, I would definitely rank this one number 3 in terms of joystick quality. But now let's actually take a look at what else is in the box. Okay, so we just hold this up, and there we go. So here is, this is a USB-C to a USB-A cable. Cool. So this is what I'm assuming you can use this to charge your controller, but what I'm assuming is it's more likely to plug in your Chromecast into it. So we got a USB-C brick, a little wall adapter, and then it looks like we have a little pamphlet thing, a little piece of paper up here. We can slide out. There's the Stadia logo, and what do we have inside here? Is this just like the manual? Yep, looks like it is. Okay, Stadia controller, getting started. What's included, then a safety, warranty, and regulatory guide for the Stadia controller. So Stadia getting started, set up your Google Chromecast, set up your Stadia controller, how Stadia controller works, using your controller, and more. So we're going to set this aside. Let's set aside the power adapter as well. And here we go. Actually, this is not for the Chromecast, it looks like. This, I guess, is just for the controller. So you use this to plug into the wall to charge your controller. Neat. This is for the Chromecast. So here on the right, we have our Google Chromecast Ultra. Nice. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like magnetic with the HDMI on the bottom. Oh, that's sweet. So I guess if you want to fold it up just like that, bam, there you go. But this is, I guess, technically your console, your PC, or whatever. This is what you're playing games off of. I mean, technically you're not playing games from this. You're streaming games to this, and this is what plugs into your TV. So this will just plug into an HDMI spot on your TV, and it can either just like dangle there, I guess, but just plugs in via HDMI. And then I believe you also have to plug in right there with micro USB to actually power the device. But pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty slick. You get a Google Chromecast Ultra with it. And then this is actually what we use to power the Chromecast Ultra. So this is what you're going to plug into. So that plugs into the outlet. And then here we have micro USB. This is what will actually plug into your Google Chromecast Ultra. I'm going to set that aside. Oh, that's interesting. It has what looks like it might be a gigabit LAN port, an Ethernet jack, so you don't have to use this from Wi-Fi. It looks like you can actually plug this in and use Ethernet with it, which would probably be the optimal way to play. That way you don't have to worry about Wi-Fi signals cutting in and out and interrupting your gameplay. You can use just straight up Ethernet and get like a perfect connection, which is definitely what I would recommend everybody does. And that's it for the box. So once again, this white cable and power brick are to charge the controller, and then this one is actually for the Chromecast Ultra. So I believe that's all there really is to it for the unboxing. It seems pretty simple and straightforward. You just get the Stadia controller. This is the clearly white version. You get a Chromecast Ultra, power cables, and also like charging for the controller itself. And you also get Stadia Pro. So I guess that is the unboxing. That's all we have today, guys, for the Stadia Premiere Edition. I'll also be doing a video of me actually like setting this up and giving it a try, playing some actual games on this thing. So that'll be pretty cool. If you guys are interested in that, I'll have a link in the description. But that is the Stadia Premiere Edition. That is the unboxing of this. And once again, make sure you guys can go and check out that other video of our actual impressions of this and to see what the Google Stadia is actually like. So there you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this in the comments down below. Is this something that interests you? Are you guys interested in Stadia and in game streaming? This has been particularly interesting this weekend because of Thanksgiving, where you might not want to lug like an Xbox or a PlayStation or something down to like a family member's house. Instead, you could just bring your Stadia with your like Chromecast and your controller and still be playing games, but not having to haul a big old console and controllers and stuff as well. So let me know your guys' thoughts on this in the comments down below. Does this appeal to you guys? I'm interested in your feedback on this, but there you guys go. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I'll see you guys next time.